Hi everybody, I'm here in the hospital. My recovery from one of my previous marvelous misadventures is going pretty well. Also, the doctors said I might have some permanent vocal cord damage from the past few weeks, so now I sound like this, I guess. Throughout my stay at the hospital, I have 3 important things to report. 1 is that it's kinda weird that their floors are carpeted. 2, the vending machine has $1 stuck in it and I got all of this food for free. And 3, I got a board game. In the early 1960s, an industrial design student at the University of Illinois, a lovable lad by the name of John Spinello, made the first ever version of Operation, a game called Death Valley. Eventually, the game would be modified enough until it became the ever iconic Operation game of today that we know and love. Part of the reason Operation is at the level of popularity it is comes from the simple premise of taking things out of a guy thanks to circuit technology. And as you'll see, the guy with the buzzer nose that you play the entire game with, named Sam, has a couple dozen reasons why you should be researched in a lab instead of being on an operation table, with this being one of them. So just for now, I thought we could take the time to play around with this goofy classic game and just make fun of it, you know, push some buttons, make some silly antics. But first, this video was sponsored by Pocket Champs, a free-to-play game available on iOS and Android devices. In this game, you train a little bean guy to become the best of the best as a champion, putting them in races and watching them come out on top. I already made a decent way up the game's rankings, but so far I can say I really enjoyed how the game looks, as the art style is truly really enjoyable to look at. I also enjoyed screaming at my champ that I named Tinfoil like a soccer mom yelling at their kid to run when they hit the ball in a Little League baseball game. Like this. All right, Tinfoil. Here we go. We're gonna get first place. We're gonna do our best, and we're gonna go. Oh no! Win! Ah! Oh hey, I won. Would you look at that? And if you use the link in the description or pinned comment from me by June 8th, you'll be able to receive a starter pack worth $10 that includes one of my personal favorite skins, the White Wolf. So check it out. It's down there. If you wanna give it a shot, I would really recommend it. It was honestly just a good way to pass time, and I would fully recommend it. And thanks again to Pocket Champs for sponsoring this video. So anyway, getting back into it, it's been 0.5 seconds, and like, what is this? The surgeon is clearly panicked, lacking any sort of gloves. Sam is lacking proper attire, and is clearly awake during all of this. You can see through his skin, there's just a bucket of water resting on his knee, and he's missing a sock and a half, along with 2 toes. Cavity Sam is feeling under the weather. Can you operate on him and make him feel better? No! I don't know if I can make him feel better. It doesn't even look like he's trying to even look better. I never thought I could get secondhand embarrassment from a board game, but here we are. His haircut is so bad, it's worse than half of these ailments. It's also important to read the rules as well, and you know me. I love reading. I do it whenever I can because it's one of my most beloved traits. When playing the game alone, you need to pick a card to determine what to pull, then you quote-unquote operate, which is how the game puts it, so at least it's aware. When you succeed, you keep the money. Alright, very nice. Carefully opening the box, I meet my biggest challenge so far. These goddamn tweezers. I spent more time getting this out than I did writing college applications. This was way harder than it should have been. The game cards give more insight on how Sam ended up as this disaster of a man. There's some normal stuff here, like pulling a muscle in a race or falling down while playing basketball. It's weird that he had at least one of those injuries and still got the other one, but whatever. There's questionable ones, like the time he got writer's cramp from writing a grocery list. That's just natural selection at that point. And then there's the insane ones, like literally producing butterflies in his stomach over a girl, and his little cartoon heart actually breaking. How are you alive? But that's alright, I got it all set up, and now it's time to play. Where's all the pieces? So this isn't even a bit. This entire dilemma actually happened to me when I got this. My copy didn't come with the tiny pieces you put in it. I went through all the footage in my brain, and on my iPhone 7 that I'm recording on right now, I searched everywhere that you could think of, and I can just say, I never got those pieces. Mind you, this game was sealed until this specific rambling discussion, so I went ahead and did something very funny. Now there's 2 of them and they can be buddies. This time I did get all the pieces, so this one's useless for now. After spending another 48 minutes getting another pair of tweezers out, I think it's time to play for realsies this time. I'll be playing around and explaining where I think there might be some faults. And that's everything. like, I thought there would be more to it, like, more issues to, like, delve into and make fun of, but you just flip a card and then you do the thing. It's funny seeing a headless Sam when you take the game out. I would say medically speaking that's an improvement. Again, nose and haircut, those are pretty bad. I really did think for a second that there would be much more to talk about. And honestly, the biggest issues are that the removable things don't have skin blocking them, and you don't need to do any, like, actual operation to, like, rip off skin or anything. And of course, you wouldn't actually have a surgery where you do all of this at the same time, but it's not too big of an issue, and I'll just make it my headcanon that Sam couldn't afford proper health insurance and healthcare or anything, so that's why he's in this awful, really shady surgery operation table. And even then, by all means, Cavity Sam is, with all due respect, the worst person I have ever seen. Like, this guy is such a loser. And now I learned that if I ever need a confidence boost, I can remember that I'm better off than whatever the hell Sam is currently. And I bet you're thinking, gee willikers, how can this get any worse? Well, I'm glad you asked. Like any moderately popular niche children's board game, there's gotta be some additions that sure do exist. Classic editions are simultaneously better and worse than this one in terms of being a disappointment to the medical community around the world. This slightly older edition is a great example. Although the surgeon is correctly wearing his mask, there's still a frog and a bird who both should not be there, and then there's just a tiny toilet. I'm honestly really curious about how Sam got that stuck in him. At least he's on a slightly better operating table, and the surgeon has gloves, and Sam even has a whole sock this time. But 1987 edition, dude, what the hell? Neither doctor seems to care about Sam, as they lack the most proper attire that's required for a surgeon. This one's shaped like the letter R. Cavity Sam is butt-ass naked with children present, and despite all of this, even he recognizes that he deserves better, which, for once, I actually agree. Operation Splash, he's on a waterbed. Why does this need to exist? Why is his brain out? There's a Halloween costume. That's clever, I guess. I found this old version with a dog, and Sam's nose looks like one of those concrete balls at Target. It's probably squishy, though. Tiny Operation, the one where they shrunk Sam but not the things in him. X-ray Operation, you x-ray the poor man. He's being exposed to too many rays. Now I can forgive the tumor nose, I guess. And of course, Operation Junior, a game that has almost nothing to do with Operation other than having Sam there dressed like a total loser. Sam's dog is also in the game Pet Scan, which is about this disgustingly deformed amalgamation animal eating homework and stuff and then needing to get it removed. I'm also curious about how there's so many unique versions. Like, is Sam really that popular of a character? Well, no, he's not. In fact, most people didn't even know his name was Sam. Just you recognize him as the operation guy. Yeah. I mean, he's got the big nose. It's pretty recognizable. But like any moderately popular thing, there's got to be a strangely high amount of crossovers. Very few of them legitimately make sense, all of which don't have Sam. A good amount of them follow you repairing robots or machines. There's editions of like Simpsons or Nightmare Before Christmas where they just get one of the characters and then they just have you operate on them with references from their actual series. There's Noah's Ark Operation, and this is a shitpost. But then there's actually a couple of versions that make a teensy little tiny graham cracker of sense based off of the worlds that these games take place on. And I think that there's one edition that specifically is much better than the rest. That being Doc McStuffins Edition, a Disney Junior TV show from the 2010s about a kid repairing broken toys. This is unironically the best one because it's actually a doctor thing, and that makes sense. Good job. And with that, I believe we have covered everything in the wacky world of Operatione. Now, as weird as it seems, I can't help but feel a little bit bad for good old Cavity Sam. Imagine if your entire legacy was being infamous for the stupid shit that you caused to your body and then having it get removed from you. The fact that he's awake during all of this makes it even worse. I feel awful for him. To an extent. Like, we only remove the things, but if we remove the broken heart while he's awake, he realistically should not be alive. On another hand, he's also the biggest dweeb of the year. I wouldn't be shocked if he had head trauma from his nose, but because by all means, this is one of the dumber characters out there. I almost want to recreate how I would imagine he got all these injuries, but I don't know if I could do that. Yes, I could. Thanks again to Pocket Champs for sponsoring today's video. Okay, bye-bye.